Things I learned as a freshman. Let's go. Okay, first, disclaimer. I know classes are going to be online for the foreseeable future, but still take this video as either future advice or, yeah, whatever. And also, happy Pride. Let's get into it. Number 1, do reach out to your blockmates. Try not to limit yourself to just a few people you usually talk to. When you have an unreasonable professor or crazy workload, it's good to be able to talk and bond with people you can relate to and remind you you're not alone with all the things that you're going through, and you can get through it together. Or, if need be, file a complaint for crazy professor or anything of the sort. For example, when you get midterms really early and you haven't studied anything, hasn't given you enough material to work with. So yeah, that's an example. Number 2, don't get too carried away with joining too many organizations. I personally didn't join any because I live 15 kilometers away from my school. So yeah, I already have barely enough time to do chores and have, me time or whatever, so I'd probably be dead if I joined an org. But yeah, I know some of my friends who join about 5 orgs or more, and let me tell you, actually some of them are doing pretty well, but that's because they don't live 15 kilometers away, and also they live on campus, the rest, so take it easy. And if you really feel like you could handle the load, then go for it. But if it means that you would be sacrificing sleep, study time, self-care, time out with your friends to unwind, or family time and anything like that, and it's draining you to the point where you just don't want to live, leave. So, number 3, wear some sunscreen, okay? This isn't just about, I don't want to be tan, I don't want to be brown. No. Your skin will thank you when you're older. Seriously. Sunlight, UV rays, and heat of the sun and sunlight and everything can actually cause premature aging. And I don't want to look like I'm 50 when I'm 25. Especially because our campus has a lot of outdoor space. And yeah, I just don't want to look old. Please guys, just try not to get skin cancer. I recommend Biore's watery essence. I'm just gonna show a picture right here because I forgot to bring it from over there. And it moisturizes your skin too. 4, please do not wait till last minute to do work. And I know you crammers out there like,
you underestimate me.
No, I'm just concerned. And okay, the real deal is you'll eventually be able to be a cramming master in college, but it's not advisable, especially if you want to make a coherent output no matter what course you're in. In my case, I'm in literature. I don't want to be cramming about feminism or neo-colonialism stuff when it's a school night. So I just don't recommend it at all. Which brings us to 5. Sleep is so important. I cannot stress that enough. I am aware that I look like I don't sleep at all, and the fact that I film only at night makes it seem like I don't sleep, but I do actually have pretty solid schedule nowadays. But when oh gosh, when there's school, I literally would only have like 4 to 5 hours of sleep per night because I get home at best at about 5 o'clock. 7 or 8 or 9 on a bad day. Aim for at least 7 to 8 hours, but let's be real here, you'd be lucky if you got 5 to 6, which is what I got, so. You don't really absorb information when you're exhausted. You'd have to be hooked on caffeine, and from my personal experience, just makes you really hyper and notice really stupid things and start laughing in the middle of class. And everyone's just gonna look at you real weird, like, and you're gonna be laughing because you noticed someone's zipper was down, and people are gonna ask you, why do you always notice those things? And I'll be like, I don't know, man. Anyways, oh yeah, so almost every speaker that spoke to our batch and our block said that they would sleep at a certain time every single night. So if you have that luxury, please do. You will save yourself the brain cells, and you're gonna need it. Number 6. Keep your cuts to a minimum. This should go without saying, but I'll say it anyways. Please go to class as much as you can, so when you actually need to cut or just feel lazy, feel like taking a day off, going home early, you can. Please do not waste your cuts on random ass crap. Okay, here's the thing. I sound like such a killjoy or whatever, but what I mean is, when you actually have the will to do it, or half the will to show up, show up. So the rest of the time, especially towards the end of semester when you get lazy, because I know I do, you can just not show up. Bad influence, but okay, that's solid advice. 7, do not enlist in that 7 a.m. class. Please, don't be like me. I have no idea what was going through my head. So there was this aerobics class, and you know, enlistment period in the university that I'm in is just insane. You get assigned a batch number, and then it's basically a rush, because you're like, I got this one first. And I was like, aerobics at 7 a.m.? Heck yeah, dude! I can do that. That sounds fun. Dancing around at 7 a.m. Who doesn't want that? Turns out, the earliest bus I could take to school was 6:30 a.m. and you arrive at least 45 minutes later. So it was a whole dramatic thing. I had to talk to the head of the PE department, and it was really scary. I was about to cry probably like, I don't know, 4 times or something. I ended up dropping the class, not taking PE at all in the first semester, so now I have to take it in some intersession probably before junior year. Don't do it, please. God, just don't. Even people in dorms don't want to take it, so just don't, especially if you don't live on campus. But if you live on campus and you just don't want to, just don't, man, just don't. 8. Me time and going out with friends are important. Balance these 2 things, and of course time with family and other things as well. But what I'm trying to say is, whichever one you prefer more is totally fine. Just make sure that you balance it with studies. And don't feel guilty about taking this time for yourself and to hang out with friends, because the more you unwind and the more you have fun and rest when you can, the more effective and motivated you'll be when you have to work, and the less likely you are to burn out easily.
Freshman tips.
9. Keep yourself inspired with a bigger picture. Remind yourself why you're doing this, why you started this in the first place, why you're in college, why you're in the course that you're in, why you're in the university that you're in. That sounds redundant, but okay. Find a reason to keep pushing yourself. I mean, obviously, when it's just too much and it's really affecting your mental health, then you can leave college, of course. That's totally fine. But if you have the capacity and the will to go on, then go. Find any reason if it's stupid, like my dog wants me to graduate, or to make my mom proud, to make myself proud. I personally tell myself this, and I know most of you are probably gonna laugh, but I say, if Gerard Way can make it through college, so can I. And it works. It really works. Barely made it out alive, but here I am. Lit life. 10. Explore campus and eating places. That sounds so weird, eating places. Most of you don't have to worry about this because of quarantine for the foreseeable future, but when you do get the chance to visit your campus, if you have a campus and are not an online student, having a copy of the map of your school is extremely useful. I cannot tell you how many times I asked a guard, hey,
Hi kuya, saan po yung building na to?
then he just literally points behind me or over there, and it's just like so obvious, or the name's literally on the thing. It's just so obvious. Like I'm pretty sure I look like a terrified freshman. And some places, for food, some places are definitely cheaper or more expensive than others, but eventually the more you explore, the more you're going to find your go-to favorite meal that fits your price point and budget just right. So, yeah, just be exploratory. College. 11. Make use of the school's facilities. You're paying for that. Okay, if you're a scholar, not really, but you're still supposed to use that. Especially if you have like the guidance department. It's really great, to check in with your mental health and everything. Sorry, it was like a internal burp. Okay. The library for research. And I cannot stress this enough, especially for the ones whose courses involve a lot of research. And especially if your school has a certain, what do you call it? Database that has like exclusive materials that are only available for your school. And our school has that. Did you just see my foot? But yeah, make use of it. It's totally worth it. And you're gonna have to learn how to use it anyway, because thesis moments. And use lockers, of course. I mean, you're obviously gonna have to pay for it, but it's worth it if you don't want to lug around a bunch of crap. And if you have a nap room, use the nap room. I've used our university's nap room. It's great. Bring a blanket in there, a jacket, some stuff, you're good to go. 12. Lighten your bag's load. I live about 15 kilometers away from my university, as I've previously mentioned, so I carry a big ass JanSport backpack every day. It was starting to make my back hurt because it's full of stuff that I might need, like for emergencies, because I live so far away that I might need if like I'm in the middle of travel or if I'm in school, because I don't want anything horrible to happen to me and for me to not have those things like medication or like first aid and stuff like that. So I bring it all. And I had to downsize because of my back hurting, and yeah, don't be like me. 13, which is the last one. Thank you for making it this far if you're still here. Dress for comfort. If you know me, I would take every single opportunity to dress extra if I can. But when you're in a campus that has open spaces and it's really hot almost every day, or raining, and you really have to consider the temperature inside and outside of the classroom, the weather, and especially if you commute, because you don't want to expose yourself when you're in a tricycle or jeepney or a bus or whatever it is, LRT or MRT that you take going to your school. I try to keep my layering to a minimum. I just try to bring a cardigan or a jacket just in case. And I try to wear comfy shoes as much as possible, although sometimes I will, you know, be stubborn enough to wear some cute strappy doll shoes and just suffer the whole day. Please don't do that. I'm fine. Okay. That's all, guys. Now I'm gonna promote my song. So, Serial Dater comes out on June 6th, which will be yesterday by the time this is up. The link will be down below. It's available on a lot of streaming apps and Spotify, of course. I really hope that you are going to enjoy it. I really took some time to write that, and it took a lot of confidence to actually put that out because it's my first song. Yeah. And of course, wow, flimsy. Let me just move that. I cannot in good conscience promote my own music without acknowledging the controversial things that are happening right now. So I'm going to be as vague as possible so that this video doesn't get taken down. I have a weird cough. No, it's not COVID, okay? Is that even a symptom? Okay. So, for whatever minority you're a part of, as long as it's not maps, because I hate maps, I support your cause, and we stand together during times like this, especially if you're a Hume student or any humanities related. You know what? If you're a human being and you're a decent person, then you would actually support the causes that are and the movements that are happening right now, especially the ones against racism and fascism. So I don't agree at all with police brutality. It's just brutality, you know? And for the situation in our country right now, I'm just gonna flat out say that I hate the terror bill, okay?
Junk it.
Seriously. I'm not even gonna get into it because it's way too political. I mean, duh. But yeah, what I'm trying to say is fight for your cause, know your rights. And if you're annoyed by the protesters and everyone making noise at the moment around the world and from wherever you're from, you better check your privilege. Because if you have the capacity to ignore social issues that are extremely relevant right now because they're not convenient for you, then you're privileged, you know? Simple as that. If you're young and you're scared to speak up and, you know, you don't know what to say, at least spread awareness, educate yourself, educate your close friends and everything, and take a stand, because the government, they'll eventually have to listen to their people. And this is the longest video I've ever made. Wow. But it just needed to be said. And I'm not gonna be quiet about it, you know? It's just not something that I want to shut up about, because it's really important and extremely relevant right now. And it's depressing, honestly, to see everything and people actually siding with the enemy. So, if you're a fascist or racist or a bigot, get out. So that's all. Once again, happy Pride. Look at this. Okay. Please like, subscribe, comment down below, share, tap on that notification bell, and Look at all the links below. Follow me on Instagram @bulletsthetic. And I'll see you next Sunday, y'all. Stay vigilant. Know your rights. Because a lot of people only know the wrongs. Am I right? This is my lanyard, by the way. I wear this to school. Yes, I wear it ironically, or maybe I wear it unironically. Let me show you how cool it is, you know? It says emo, has the checkered pattern on it. It has the pinks and the blues and the whites, and it has an Oscar Wilde quote that says, "I am the only person in the world I should like to know thoroughly, 'cause I'm edgy." I'm sorry, I whipped my teddy bear. But yeah, what's your funny lanyard story? I'm just kidding. Who even has those? Bonus part, if you stayed this long, I'm going to show you my ID photo that I'll be having for the next 2 years. Wow. Beautiful. Yes, that was my hair, or lack thereof. So, yeah, the follow-up video to this might be 10 things you should know before you shave your head, so watch for that. I really I miss dressing up so much. I'm pretty hard.